Are you hyped for YouTube's new hype tool? Get hyped because YouTube's helping you get hyped from the community. Yeah. Not good at these. Let's get hyped for YouTube. Yes. Or we could just talk about YouTube's new hype feature, insert confetti, air horn, whatever sound effects and posts that you would like. It is a new feature that many are excited about, and then some are actually concerned about. So today, as we do in all of our videos, we're going to talk about what exactly it is, what is the qualifications, eligibility for it, what are some of the niche things you need to know, and then maybe weed through some of the concern that has been stated on the internet. So YouTube has announced a new hype feature, and essentially it is a way for you as a smaller creator to get a chance to be seen, because we are in one of the most saturated content oceans of all time. Fun little stat is, on average, 500 hours of content is uploaded every single minute. So we just do some quick math. What is 500, and you times that by what, 60 minutes, so you got 30,000 per hour, which comes out, if you times that by 24, that's going to be around 720,000 hours of content uploaded per day. AKA, there is a lot of noise, and it is hard to cut through said noise and get seen. And that's what you're ultimately trying to do on YouTube, is to create and to cultivate an audience and let your interesting interests and endeavors and talents be seen. And YouTube has heard you. There was an article by Verge where they're saying, 500,000 subscribers is kind of like that tipping point. And obviously, as they get bigger, they tend to get more views, get recommended more. And so we need a way, and the feedback from a lot of their surveys is a way to give those smaller channels a chance to compete without exorbitant paid advertising budgets, which we know is not exactly the way to get the traction for organic behoovement. So let's talk about how this works. Let's go to the handy dandy YouTube blog, Hype, giving fans a stake in the success of their favorite emerging creators. And that is the big difference. So it's an opportunity to help channels connect with audiences that maybe they're not reaching due to being new, not having that algorithmic traction. And so there is some qualifiers that have to be met. Okay, so as it says in the article here, you have to be a creator that's under 500,000 subscribers, because we have a quote from The Verge up here that says, when a YouTuber hits 500,000 subscribers, the company has found that this changes things. 500,000 is a milestone that seems to be a tipping point of growth, revenue, etc. And so folks under it need a little bit of that extra juice. All right. And then it has to be a video that's also under 7 days old. Okay. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the leaderboard refreshes. I don't know if it's like, okay, I posted it and then all the hype came in on the 6th day. Do I get a full week on the leaderboard? What's the rotation of that? There's a lot of questions exactly how that works. They're not clearly defined, but this leaderboard contains 100 of the top hype videos for your specific country. Okay. This is not necessarily worldwide. Actually, it's unequivocally not worldwide. And then you have a little bit of a view of what exactly that looks like. That being said as well, it's also weighted in some way, shape, or form. So you see here, it says it's not just about the leaderboard. We've got a small creator bonus built in, or a point multiplier to channels with fewer subscribers. So in that range of 500 to 500,000 subscribers, there is a weighting system that allows the points to be a little bit more emphatic for those smaller channels, because inherently their hype potential will most likely be less than a channel of 500,000 subscribers, right? In that hundreds of thousands of subscribers range. We want to make sure everyone has a fair shot at spotlight. All right. And then there's also badges that will be given to those top hype videos. And so there's going to be ways for visual identifiers to say, hey, that's one of those hype videos. People are really vibing with this. It's a great opportunity for an international audience. If you're in other countries, and there's a lot of noise on YouTube, and Mr. Beast is dominating everywhere, that you have a chance to maybe peak up in your region more so than you would in its current situation in place. And as I mentioned, this comes from a place where people are like, I love that I can directly support the creators I care about. It feels like I'm part of their journey. And they wanted a way to do that more emphatically than shares, comments, likes, etc. Right? Because there's only so much you can do. Like, I can't only watch your video so many times, but I can at least hype it now. And I really like this idea from YouTube. But there is a line of text that I inherently glossed over to come back to that got people up in arms. All right? We're going to read it. We're going to go talk about more of the weeds of how the system works, and then we're going to come back to it. But I don't want to act like I'm dodging this question. So it says, we get 3 hypes per week, but in the future, we plan to allow fans to purchase additional hypes, unlocking another revenue stream for creators too. Now, there's a couple conflicting concepts here, okay? The idea is if I'm buying hype for a specific viewer, is that how they're getting the behoo from that revenue stream? Is this a pay to play situation where if I know that this creator is posting a video in this 7-day window, we're going to buy the heck out of some hypes to get it to jettison to the top of that leaderboard? Those are questions that are fair. I want to talk about that. But let's get a little bit more about exactly how this leaderboard works and its impact on the video's performance on YouTube wise. So as you know, and I've mentioned many times on this channel, when a new tool is coming out, go to Google support because there's going to be more of the in the weeds details. So there's 2 right now. There's the hype of video and the hype of video leaderboard. We're going to take a look at both of those tabs more quickly on the video one because most of that information is contained within the blog that we were just taking a gander at. But then some of the burning questions are answered in the hype leaderboard. And then we're going to take a look at what this leaderboard looks like and the hype button as well. So you want to see all those things, stay tuned. So we hop over to the Google support or YouTube help, right? It gives you a lot of the same information. Help your favorite up and coming creators get more views and reach new fans. Okay. Exactly what it's doing right now. From what I can see, it is going to be a feature that it's only able to be activated on mobile and devices. So you have the hype of video on the Android, hype of video on the iPhone and iPad. Doesn't mean it'll never come to desktop, but this has become a trend in YouTube tools that I've been seeing, is that they tend to roll most of this out in their mobile devices, which makes sense, by the way, because that is primarily where people are playing ball. And so and where they're consuming YouTube content. So it makes sense that these features roll out there first. Here's some of the FAQs. Can you undo your hype? No. So be careful. You only get 3 per week, your allotment, unless you want to pay for more. Will creator know specifically that I hyped them? No, not at this time. Why can't I have a video? They might not be eligible. So obviously right now it's only available in Brazil, Taiwan, Turkey. So that would be a reason you're not logged in. So this does have to come from a specific account, which makes sense because you're getting an allotment of hypes for your account. They are not eligible because they don't have either 500 subscribers or they're over 500,000 subscribers, or yet again, if you're a Made for Kids channel, you're missing out. And I have a special place for Made for Kids channels because it used to be a lot of the channels that I worked on back in the day, and we just never get the new fun things. And then they will be curating your hype videos in some way, shape, or form, which is actually pretty neat. I do have questions if you're going to see like the weighting of your points, like how much it added. Like I added 1,000, even though you clicked it once. I don't know. These are all fair questions. But like I said, the leaderboard is a little bit more of an interesting in the weeds details because it specifically talks about, does the hyping have an impact on your algorithmic performance and YouTube recommendations? And we're going to read that here in a second, but let's start from the top. The hype leaderboard shows videos from up and coming creators. That is the key thing here, where it's up and coming, trying to help the newbies, right? That have been uploaded within the last 7 days and endorsed by fans. When viewers show extra love to creators by hyping their videos, the videos are given points, and the YouTube automatically applies bonus points depending on the creator's subscriber count. So we've already highlighted that there's some kind of weighting system. The fewer subscriber has more bonus points, etc. Right? The leaderboard isn't personalized. It displays the same list of videos to all viewers. So it's not personalized. It's not for you. It is the same list. in the same country, and the list of most hype videos update roughly every 30 minutes. Okay, so that was a question we had earlier. So it's updated roughly every 30 minutes. With each update, videos may move up, down, or stay in the same position in the list. So it's going to be a very dynamic leaderboard. And I do have a picture over here of, it's a little blurry, of kind of what this looks like. So it does seem like you're going to have the content categories. You can see updated 30 minutes ago. And then you're actually looking at points too. So that's interesting. It looks like the main key metrics, not necessarily going to be the viewership. It's going to be the points. So pretty neat. And it looks like you can drill a little bit more into the gaming, food, animals, etc. Back over to this article. Gives you a little bit more about the availability and eligibility. So let's talk about how you view it. You go to explore menu, go to specifically hype, and after you can, there's some ways to type in the leaderboard. So let's get the answers to some of your most burning questions. And I conveniently covered the FAQs for this very reason. Do you tell creators when a video is hyped or reached the leaderboard? We don't currently have this option to who hyped the videos, and we don't tell creators when the video has been added to the leaderboard, but creators can always view how many points the video has in the video description. If the video has been added to the leaderboard, we also have a badge showing this rank in the video description. So it doesn't tell them, but it does, because the badge is very indicative, right? But don't spend your time scrolling the leaderboard, I guess. Can I hype my own videos? No, you can't. But this is it. This is the question, the drum roll, right? Does hyping impact the video's organic ranking? No. No, it does not. Hyping does not impact YouTube's recommendation algorithm. So for those thinking that this is their hyper speed to getting that algorithmic traction, not so fast. So even if you had the devious idea of hijacking the system for your own behoovement, is not necessarily going to give you that algorithmic traction. Now, I do believe inherently, if hype is a traffic source with which more people are finding, subscribing, and enjoying your content, it can, have an impact, more correlated, not causation per se. So it's not that hype causes the algorithmic traction, but the correlation from traffic of hype to your video's performance can indeed give you that algorithmic traction. But YouTube is emphatically saying no, it will not cause the organic ranking to improve on this video. As a global, we know the answer to that. No. Can I view another country's leaderboard? No. Can I filter for leaderboard by topic? No, leaderboards cover all topics in a viewer's country. So that's interesting that they say that, because the picture, maybe it's just category. I don't know. That's interesting. That seems contrarian to the picture. We'll see, right? Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. But I did promise, here's what this hype feature looks like, and giving points. And I don't know if you get to see how many points you necessarily gave or what that weighting system is. I would assume there'll be ways to test this on, what is the threshold of point multiplier? These are all great questions. I don't really know. But as I mentioned, there is some concern about this handy dandy little phrase. We plan to allow fans to purchase additional hypes, unlocking another revenue stream for creators too. Okay, so let's a little fireside chat here. I understand the concern that when you read that statement, essentially it says in the future, there's an opportunity that you can just keep buying hypes, to keep giving points, to send video, to give it that hype leaderboard action, and everybody, Twitter, Reddit, this is a pay to play. This is a scam. This is false. I mean, let's just take a gander at the happy Reddit thread that I was in earlier. Sounds like a pay to win scheme. I like the, but dislike it being a paid feature. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Folks are not super happy about this function. There was a time where people would do the bot farms and the view farms and all these different ways to hack their way or jettison in some less than above board methods to succeed on the social platforms. But the truth is, as I've worked in this industry for over a decade, at the end of the day, those schemes rarely work out, and it's always the content that's the best that tends to win. In theory, yet again, as I keep saying that statement, could you create multitude of accounts and then utilize the hype feature 3 times and then pay for that feature? Say we're going to set aside a budget of $1,000 and we're going to drop that $1,000 across all these accounts to continue to hype that specific video in that 7-day window of a leaderboard that updates every 30 minutes to give it the most potential to hit #1 on the leaderboard of your specific country. Success? Well, yeah, I guess it seems it would be possible. And it probably would give you some spillover viewership. Maybe that correlation will cause some algorithmic traction. It's a possibility. I'm not denying that. But are you going to have a farm that's big enough to outweigh, to outpace the vitriol, excitement, and enthusiasm from just the general viewership audience? I don't think so. Because when something is truly special, you find out about it. There's just too many times. I mean, we have plenty of examples in our culture of, like, you know, what is it? Anthony Oliver Anthony, and his song transcends anything that a view farm, a hype farm could ever falsely cultivate. Right? The Hawk Tuah girl. Right? It's probably just got my ad opportunity for this video reduced. Everyone knows about her because that video supersedes what a farm can cultivate. So yes, somebody's going to try to game this system, make it a pay to play. Let them pay to play. I firmly believe the best content will reign. And you know there's not a causation from the hype tool to your algorithmic success. So yet again, it might be a correlation, but it's not going to necessarily be a causation. We have this leaderboard dynamically updating, and there's also just small windows of opportunity. So I would say maybe pump the brakes. I think this is more of a behoovement to small creators because, as I mentioned, you're competing with 720,000 hours of watch time or content being uploaded per day. I like us getting a chance to compete. Let me know what you think about the hype feature in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy creating, everyone.